All right. Forget about talking about shoes, pro marathoners. The high school ranks is where it's at. I don't know how we're in almost April. And Newbury Park High School, like every week, does something that sort of shocks me. But this week, and it's some, I don't know, what's the name of it? Some random meet in California. You have Colin Sahlman, the sub 4 miler. Okay, I'm not shocked there. 148.8. Oh, wait. His brother, Aaron Solomon, nearly beats him. He's only a junior, 148.91. So this may be like a young brother situation where the no one thinks it's possible and the younger brother is actually better, which would be crazy. Leo Young then runs 4 flat .77 in the mile. And Lex Young, I mean, any other high school, this would be phenomenal. 404.68. So apart from the times being phenomenal, this begs the question, could all four guys go sub 4 this year?
Before I answer that, I will tell you the name of the meet was the 2022 Meet of Champions Distance Classic held at the Azusa Pacific University. Could they all go for sub 4? No. Could 3 of the 4 do it? Yes. Look, this was a good result for Aaron Solomon. Weldon says no one's anticipated this. I mean, look, when Nico Young was in high school, people started participating. Questioning, are the younger brothers better? I think it was so people did contemplate it. People were like, how could this be? It's hard to really think about. The same thing is here happening with the younger Solomon brother. I was super impressed by this race. We can link to it on the message board, but there was no psychological barrier. I feel like my dad used to say when Weldon and I would race, I mean, when he would time us separately, we had the same times. When I would race Weldon, I would just let him beat me psychologically. And I see that with the young brothers. Um, but I don't see that with the Solomon brothers. The younger brother here just moved up on the outside and almost got him at the line. So that's a huge improvement from 153 down to 148 for both of them. That they looked amazing. But when you look at those miles, so what Leo ran 4 flat, John, and Lex ran 404.
That's correct.
I don't know, man. Lex reminded me of myself, like, with a huge psychological barrier. That's the worst 404 mile I've ever seen. Like, it looks terrible. He doesn't look good. This was a guy that was running 757 a few weeks ago. When his brother was out, he runs 757. Guess what? 757 is right at sub 4. I mean, it's right at 359 high, 4 flat for 3,000. And all of a sudden, his brother comes back as healthy. Now he's like getting destroyed by him and running 404 did not look good. So I guess actually it is, I guess it would be possible that all 4 could break 4, but I don't think so. And I don't know. Did you guys watch that 4-5 versus the 404? It looked like they were, you would never think that they were twin brothers. You would think that one was a C teamer compared to an A teamer.
I didn't watch the mile, and I'm not going to freak out one bad race. He's been running pretty well otherwise. 757 indoors. Yeah, really impressive. The thing that struck me, Robert, I really enjoyed watching that 800 between Colin and Aaron Solomon. Colin led pretty much all of it, and for Aaron to hang in there, his PR before this race was 153.29, which he ran at New Balance Nationals indoors. He PR'd by almost 5 seconds in an 800. That's ridiculous. To run 148.91, just finished behind his brother. Before that race, I would have said no way all 4 could break 4 this year. Now I think there's a slim possibility. I still don't think Aaron Solomon will be able to do it, which again, not breaking 4 is a junior year. That's not any sort of grand failing. It's just really hard to do. I think both Lex and Leo can do it because, like you said, Robert, Lex ran 757 indoors. Leo just ran a 4 flat. So if you put both of them in sort of a B heat at a pro meet with some sort of second tier pros, I think both of them could do it. You know, assuming this sort of 404 here was kind of even 404 in a high school only meet. That's not that bad a run. Like he got smoked by his brother, but I'm not freaking out about it. But I think 3 of the 4 could break 4 minutes. And I think this was also, it was a biggest story for me is there was a breakout race for Aaron Solomon. Like 148 as a junior, terrific run.
By the way, I don't want to be hating on a high schooler. I want to know which twin is the youngest. I feel like Lex is the younger twin. There's a psychological barrier because the 757 is sick. He's an incredible runner, but give me a call. I'll figure out how to do it. I'll train you separately from your brother. We won't have you do any workouts with him. You need to train alone and then destroy him. I can help you. You're gonna have to break with Brosnan though. Give me a call, Robert, and let's run. Or I guess that's not really a call. That's more of an email.
Okay, this is nuts. When I posed the question like a couple minutes ago, I wasn't aware that Lex was the one who ran 7:57. I thought he was the weak link. I'm like, okay, both Solomon brothers can go sub 4. They're 148 guys. This is just crazy. I mean, Aaron improved 5 seconds in what, 3 weeks? I mean, sure, his indoor to outdoor maybe didn't have his best race, but I like the moxie also, not being afraid to take down the older brother. And we got to discuss this though. Colin, when he finishes, sort of gives a little fist pump. Can you fist pump to you barely held off your little brother?
You guys are the brothers. You raced each other in high school. I'll defer to you on this. I never raced against a brother. The closest I came to was racing against a teammate, though. And I know if I just held off a teammate who I always kicked their ass and always thought that I was better than, and then suddenly they're very close. I mean, I would do it more as a sigh of relief, but I definitely feel that internally, even if I didn't express it with a fist pump. But I don't think it's out of line.
I think the better question is not can they all go for sub 4, but is Aaron Solomon the best? John acted like that was crazy before we started recording the podcast, but I'd seen insinuations about that all along in the message board.
Oh,
People
come
said,
on. You had not.
yes, I had. Absolutely. Go back and read the message board. People said that Sean Brosnan realizes that he's the fastest of all the guys, of all the Youngs and all the Solomons. The youngest one, Aaron, is the fastest. So therefore, he thought he would be the best pro because come on, their endurance is all pretty similar, like given their ages. And, you know, you can't coach speed.
I'm not saying it's a crazy take. What I am saying is before the podcast today, you were acting like this. You were going to take a victory lap and say, "I've been saying this all along, and finally this is proof." And neither Weldon nor I could ever recall you saying this that Aaron Solomon was the best pro prospect of all of them and to watch out. That's not a take we're familiar with coming from Robert Johnson. That's what I was critical of.
That is true, John. I will give him credit. He did say that the Young brothers could be better than Nico. But I think he threw that out to be provocative because he just likes to say whatever's provocative. Like, oh, I'm not going to go to Eugene Worlds this year. That sort of stuff. And there is one back to the celebration thing. If Robert did a little fist pump beating me, we might have had a Will Smith situation at the finish line. I'll just say that much. But I think that's acceptable. Brothers are allowed to fight. If family is fighting, not like a spouses obviously, but blood brothers, I think those are the only acceptable people allowed to fight in society.
Wait, well, I want your take on this because you were the one who was always beating Robert in high school. If Robert comes up on your shoulder, you run like you're running a PR or close to it, and he almost beats you, would you have done the fist pump, or is that something you would have been viewed as acceptable if you did it? Like, how would you have reacted in that scenario?
We shouldn't be fist pumping. I should be beating him. I should just be more relieved. The fist pump is no. Like, I could see him fist pumping if he beat me, but if I fist pumped and I should beat him every time, then Robert should have socked me. Oh wow, I'm just condoning violence. I've stooped down to Will Smith because it's crazy how people just justify violence these days. But I don't think I've ever really been in a fist fight with anyone outside of my own brother, so it's the only person I had no violence with. So,
Well, I don't. For the record, I don't have any problem with the fist pump. He won the race. He ran a good race. I have no problems with it.
and I guess for the official podcast, we won't go there about John physically fighting his little sister. We'll keep that off the podcast.
Like when we were like 5 years old. I mean, I challenge anyone who has a sibling within 2 years of them who hasn't fought. If you didn't fight your sibling when you were growing up at least once, there's probably something wrong with you.
Oh, I forgot also though, John. Gender doesn't matter anymore, so it's okay to sock your little sister.
You're acting like I'm punt cold cocking her. I mean, it's just like regular little brawling or wrestling. Like, again, every kid ever has done that with their younger sibling.
Okay, I looked it up in February, in the week that was. I said that Leo Young, I claimed that I'd always been saying Leo Young was the most talented of the group. But then I pointed out that Aaron Solomon is only 4 seconds slower than the Youngs, and he's 4 months younger. So I left open for the possibility. It's just like they're open to the possibility that I'll think Mo, her best days may be behind her. They also may be ahead of her. It's just interesting to think about. All right, enough high school talk.
No, wait. Well, I didn't even think we'd go there, but this is a popular thread in Let's Run. It combines the violence and high school talk. Did you guys see this video? The guy just punches another guy in a high school race.